Welcome everyone. How's everything? Emily, thanks for redeeming first. So we're just doing an early stream. I was gonna do some of these offline, but I'm like, I might as well do a stream with it. So we're just gonna do two of the stories. I'm not sure what this Anecdote one is. The Wind of Juhalerat, I think. Zeno. Arriving in Juhalerat. Wonder whose stories this is. It looks like the door, but I'm not positive. Let's see. A bullet, the smell of gunpowder, and a dreadful journey. Heavy footsteps echo down the hall. A shackled man is escorted into a room where he sits on the stool behind him. The interrogator gestures and a guard removes his blindfold. The sudden brightness stings the man, forcing him to drop his head to shield his eyes from the harsh glare. Private Alexik Friedrich Vajovan, age 24, born in Ryashki. So you're the son of the North. A former law student of the Second Northern University, enlisted after earning his degree in 1982. 4 months later, transferred to the Zeno Arms Academy for further training and applied for the Juhalerat War Front upon graduation. Served in the 756th Special Task Force of the 15th Battalion, stationed in the Juhalerat of the Zeno Arms Academy. Rank: Private First Class. Length of service: 3 months. A tenuous formation that outlines the life of a person under scrutiny. Alexa nods to each statement in silence. Next comes his crime. You were charged with shooting a comrade in arms. You voluntarily confessed to the crime, and Lieutenant Bertol, the commander of task force, proceeded to follow the charges.
Yes.
I killed a comrade. He said nothing more. Yeah, Abby. I never intended to report this. Although, this is who Bertol is. He was the one that came to the island to have the people, sign those reassignment forms. But Alexei insisted I do it. He came into my office with a written report and respectfully placed it in front of me. All you have to do is sign and report it, sir. It was as if he was my superior, giving me a direct order. But the man's integrity was unwavering, almost to a fault. I struggled to come up with a good reason to deny his requests. Lilia. That's him, alright. He's the kind of guy who believes in taking responsibility for your actions and facing the consequences. The man is obsessed with justice, like a bull fixated on the red cloth in front of him. He may seem determined and honorable, but he is destined to be weakened and assaulted by the banderillas. The two witnesses look into the interrogation room through the window. Alexa does not move his lips, only with a nod while the two wait outside for their summons.
Now?
It's almost our turn. You know, you and I are lucky to even be standing here today. I know. Death and sacrifice are the way things usually go. After an impatient wait, they both look back into their rooms. How much longer can I go in? Wait, how much longer until I can go in? Can these infectious slowpokes hurry it up? I will not stand around like an idiot again, like when I first arrived in Juhalerat.
Hold on.
Calm down, soldier. Someone will call you when it's your turn. This is how it is in the war zone. Nothing even runs smoothly, and there's never enough of anything. You are not at the academy anymore. We have lost a great deal to the storm. The man stops, not wanting to complete the thought. The Zeno Arms Academy is in its current state assembles a bombed out building, barely recognizable in its own rubble. It's as if even the slightest rain could wash it all away.
Now?
We are facing shortage of all fronts, people, supplies, and shelter. Things may seem bleak, but it's in these challenging times that our loyalty truly shines. Desperate times call for desperate measures. And that is why we find ourselves here, getting our hands dirty in the middle of this war zone. Many clients entice us with offers that are too good to refuse. Money, weapons, and a place to stay. And most importantly, information. And we all have to give in return are our soldiers, currencies that we'll lose anyway in the next reversal. The girl looks at the figure through the window glass. So I'm thinking if this is Lilia when she was young. And the battlefield sharpens these currencies faster than any training grounds. Solemnly, the officer pats the girl on the shoulder. Yes, comrade. Everyone dies. They just don't know when. Is Alexei gonna die?
No way.
To the death penalty? No, little falcon. It's not that serious of a matter. He'll likely spend 3 years in prison, have his sentence reduced, and eventually be pardoned.
No matter what.
In any case, there are plenty of ways to get him out early. We're short-handed right now, and we're not gonna let some young blood waste away in prison like that. And I have a feeling that this admiral will be interested in overseeing this case. So don't you worry. Heal. The clerk emerged from the room down the hall and signals to Lydia.
Well...
It looks like you're up first, little falcon. Go on. Remember what I told you. Be completely open with them. Tell the truth, for your own good and for Alexei's and mine. And I thought I was going to get the whole hood and cuff treatment. Kicked into the room by steel-toed boots. You want that kind of treatment? Easy. Just blow my brains out in front. Just blow my brains out in front of the guards right now. Waving her hand, Lydia enters the room without looking back. Huh. We're better off staying alive, you and I. Later, Bertolf. She pulls out a chair, hops onto it, and crosses her legs, swinging her feet under the table. Miss Lilia, is it? There's no need to be nervous, young one. Help yourself to some candy in the drawer. And try not to kick the table. I doubt it could withstand much of your assault. Just take a deep breath and relax. Fine, fine. But do you have any adult potato juice around here? And don't call me miss. So I'm not sure if when they say the adult potato juice, does she mean I know, is it like what vodka? Because then later on when she's older, that's what she usually has in her hand.
What if?
No, are you sure you should be consuming something like that? If you're thirsty, there's water in the cup. It's cold, but don't let that stop you. Forget it. Let's get started then, comrade. What do you want to ask? Private Alexei shot and killed a fellow soldier during the search and rescue mission outside of Juhalerat. You were there. Did you witness the act? Yes, I saw everything.
Nice.
On June 12th, Lieutenant Bertol led the 756 squad into the mountains to rescue a trapped survey team. According to Lieutenant Bertol's report, you joined the mission as a volunteer. Is that right? Yeah, I went. Voluntarily.
Here's the case.
Private Alexei's story and the lieutenant's report don't quite add up. We'd like more information, Comrade Lilia. Good. She's not the little miss anymore. You ask, I'll answer. We're only going to ask about certain things, you see.
Now?
Tell us everything you know, starting with the moment you landed in Juhalerat.
I must.
We need the whole truth, every detail of what you saw and heard. Please, comrade. Zeno speed. The earth mocks the masses, bestowing dust and death as presents. They wanted to send rookies into the war zone to get some hands-on experience. I signed up and proved myself better than most, so they let me go. I was part of the dirt group. When? Saturday, probably. I don't remember. Anyway, it was around noon when we got off the plane. The sun? The sizzling sands? And a bunch of rookies. Juhalerat sure knew how to give us a warm welcome. Before we took off, some of the recruits saw black coffins being unloaded off a plane. They started to panic. When they found out that the coffins held the remains of a previous group of rookies, even more chickened out. And then, I was the only one who fled to Juhalerat, carrying the experimental equipment that the others were supposed to handle. I guess the instructor wanted to use me to test their new toys out in the field. Those fist-like boom bombs packed with the vital Porphyritin could turn a giant boulder into a pile of confetti. It was probably because I can fly that they dared to trust me with those things. And then there was this tiny radar modified by the Type 76 experimental bug, which picked up preset channels. It was Zeno's latest masterpiece. I was excited at first, thinking I was going to do something big there. Maybe snag a few shiny medals to show off that Wimp's back in the academy. You know, because only the toughest soldiers deserves to be sent to the front lines. Juhalerat was a dump of a city. I got off the plane and then onto a truck. I thought it would only be all dirt and grime, like the mud capes on the truck tires. Turns out, there's more trees than I thought. The mountains outside the city shone with a pale white glow, like sharpened, glistering into the sun. The mighty Hindu Kush, where even eagles dare not fly. She examined the instructor before we left. I still remember the silence in the truck, everyone keeping their mouths shut. I figured it was because of the dust of the road. Soon enough, the truck stopped, the driver cursing and honking at us to get off. And then, there we stood, like a bunch of imbeciles, dazed and confused under the scorching sun of Juhalerat. Seriously? Is no one coming to pick us up? Did they just throw off the truck and leave us here? Hello? Comrade? Shouldn't someone be taking us to the base? Hey comrade, do you know the way? Here. The way to here? I chatted with a few people and showed them the map into my pocket, but nobody seems to care. They looked at me as if I was a rabbit. But when the last time you saw a rabbit with a talent of a hawk? Well, I guess our local comrades must have been busy. How could they spare someone to pick us up when they're at war? Or maybe they just forgot about us. Anyway, I'll keep waiting and waiting for the longest time. for 10 freaking minutes. When the blistering sun finally got to me, I decided I wasn't going to stand around like an idiot any longer. Alright, guess this is where we part ways, comrade. Good luck. I had a letter and a map in my pocket, though all soaked from the leaky bottle, but that was okay. They were still readable. I followed the map aimlessly around the city, feeling like I was going in circles, until a kind local recognized my uniform and stopped me in the streets. You're from Zeno, yes? Welcome, friend. Are you going to the base? It's not far ahead. You just go for 120 steps, turn into an alley with a red wall, and continue for another 210 steps. Then turn right and come to an intersection with 2 sacred figs. Turn right again and you'll find Erpat's shop. Go down the steps next to the shop, then turn left and walk 50 steps. He was like an enthusiasm tour guide, giving me all the details.
Wow.
Be careful in the nail alley, and don't trip over the melons on the ground, though, or you'll be easy target for the old man who will try to swindle you of everything you have. When you smell fried chickpeas, follow the aroma, and maybe buy some while you're there. Help out her business, they're tasty. And finally, when you see a couple of guys crouching at the courtyard wall, that's the base. Yeah, that's how they do it for the random characters or like the non-point characters. So so the characters that are important or that has like a meaning or something, they usually have eyes and faces. But there's nothing like that on the map.
Dear?
Juhalerat changes every day, my friend. It's better to trust me than to trust your map. So I took a leap of faith. I trusted the guy. Oh, she got to the base. Truth be told, the place was pretty shabby. There were houses taken over from the civilians mostly. A perimeter wall, 2 courtyards, a few rows of converted barracks, and 1 office. Several men squatted outside the wall, killing time and eyeing me as I walked in. The guards on duty was dozing off in the shed, rifle on his lap. Wake up, you're on watch. I nudged the stocking from his boot. He gave me a stink eye in return and went right back to sleep. Don't start any trouble, little girl. Go play somewhere else. I'm here for Bertol. Hearing Bertol's name, he squinted and stretched out his finger, pointing into the courtyard.
Oh.
Third house from the left. He is in there. Go ahead. But before I could find Bertol, he found me first. A uniformed gentleman emerged from the house and catches sight of a young recruit. The unfamiliar recruit runs up to the officer, handing over a letter. The piece of yellow paper is now dried out by the heat of Joro's sun. You new here? A Zeno Air Force Reserve cadet. Good. Little falcon chick. Think you can fly over to Hindu Kush? We have many great pilots take on the mountains, but not all have made it back. Be very careful. The mountain folks there have been hunting fierce beasts and birds for thousands of years, including eagles and falcons alike. Compared to the careless, unreliable nature of this place, Bertol seems to be the most dependable soldier here. It's too bad you came at the bad time. I'm about to go on a mission. No time to take you under my wings, I'm afraid.
Listen.
No one can guarantee their own safe return from the next mission, rookie. You should prepare yourself for any outcome. The girl's interest unites. A mission? Then I come to the right time. Sir, I'm here to fight, so take me with you.
What?
You want to come along? Why else would I be here? To kick rocks, shoot targets, and shuffle files all day? Files all day? For the immediate tasks, you can leave them to the others. Just holler out the gate and you have more help than you know what to deal with.
Okay.
If you want to come, come. By the way, tell me, little falcon, what does loyalty mean to you? Not afraid of dying for a cause. Right, you are, but on the battlefield, loyalty is much more complicated than that. As for sacrifice, sacrifice is loyalty, and loyalty is sacrifice. Let's go with that. Come, little friend. I gathered everyone. Let's go meet them. A dozen soldiers are waiting in another part of the courtyard. Bertold walks up to them with Lilia. He starts a head count, only to find out that one person is missing. Where's Hassan? He says he was heading out to buy tea half an hour ago.
Shoot.
Did he seriously expect us to tolerate his frequent tea breaks that wastes our time? Just as the word leaves his mouth, a row of men hurries over from the opposite side of the courtyard. I'm here, boss. Hassan here. The tardy soldier, Hassan, turns out to be the same guy who showed me the way to the base.
Hey!
It was your turn to stand guard today, Comrade Hassan. Me? Yes, it was my turn, but Abu said he'll cover for me, and isn't he doing a wonderful job standing guard over there? No need to worry, brother Alexei. When it's your turn, it's your turn. Those are the rules.
Enough!
Time is ticking. Alexei, get the first aid kit ready. The rest of you, grab your gear. The truck will be here in 5 minutes. Time has its own rhythm in Juhalerat. Waiting for 5 minutes there was more like waiting for 15. 15 minutes minimum.
May I ask?
And what should I do, boss? Get acquainted with our new friend and keep her safe until the mission is over. Scram, I don't need no babysitter.
What?
Well, boss, look at her. She's a fierce little thing. Haha. When my sister was her age, she didn't even dare to talk to people while herding sheep up in the mountains. Show a little more respect for our comrade, Hassan.
Hi.
Hey there, what's your name? Her name is Lilia. She's from the academy just like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic news. I actually just graduated from there. Did you apply for your base yourself? Kind of. I beat a lot of people, so they let me come here.
Which means...
I'm not sure what that means. I can't imagine what you were gone through to get here, but you must have some serious skill.
Oh.
Oh, she's a tough cookie, Alexei. That's what they say nowadays. The robed man seemed quite friendly to Alexei, and perhaps he was just friendly to everyone. Some says that brother Alexei looks scary, but don't worry, he's actually a good man. He hands out candy and plays balls with the kids, smiles at everyone, speaks kindly, and even pays the local a fair price for real money. Outsiders has done too many terrible things in this place. The people resent us.
It's ridiculous.
It should not be like this. It should not be. We are supposed to be here to help them defend their homes, to help them build their cities. War makes good men better and bad men worse. Some of our comrades, and I'm ashamed to call them comrades, are downright criminals. It's always been like that, war. Always like that.
That's too far.
Those dogs all deserve to be shot. After their brief spat, Alexei turns his attention back to Lilia with a warm and attentive gaze.
Now?
Aye. May have said too much. Let's save the rest for later, young comrade. When you're on the road, we can get to know each other better. I'll see you soon. If he has lived 500 years, he will have been the most devout asset of his time. Don't you agree, friend? He totally would have. Alexei hurries to the home while the others keep busy at camp, waiting for the borrowed truck from the Allies. The commander pulls the eager little falcon aside for a private word. What's the plan, sir?
Listen.
Lila, let's talk about courage. It is a great virtue, but I have no doubt about your own courage. But there is no need for you to squill the fire with your own blood. Speak plainly, sir. Bertolf pauses, gathering his thoughts before speaking carefully. I appreciate your enthusiasm to join us with the mission, but as young blood with so much potential, you and Alexei are the true futures of Zeno.
But
we must preserve those sparks. A wise warrior knows when to attack, just as they know when to decisively retreat. The commanded words are tactful, but the hint of underestimating infuriates the battle-hungry youth. What? You want me to punk out? No way. I'm no chicken. I'm tough as nails, just like you guys. She does not need anyone's protection. Never has. Never will.
No.
Chicken? That's not the right word, little falcon. I trust your tactile acumen and your willingness to sacrifice for the cause, but I don't want you to be the one to bear the burden. If things go south, take your broom and fly away as fast as you can. My people will cover you. Don't throw your life away here. You have to survive. Your people... Sir, I'm one of you.
Okay.
Alright, your comrades will cover you, but when I give you the order to retreat, obey my command, Comrade Lilia. Berto left me no room to argue. He was my commander, and I was his soldier. I had to comply. But I still feel that he underestimated me. The truck finally pulls up, and the team assembles. Before they leave, Berto announced the mission.
Here's the case.
We are on our way to save a team of comrades. They have been trapped in the mountains by unfriendly armed forces stirring up trouble. Retrieve our people and the documents they recovered, and eliminate all obstacles in your way. You know what you must be done.
Nice.
That's all, comrade. Get on the truck and head out. Best of luck to all of us. But Berto lied. What? What do you mean by Berto lied? While our objective was search and rescue and recovery, he lied to the soldiers. The integrity nods and turns to signal the clerk. So who or what were you actually trying to save? Important Arcanius or something else? Documents lost during war. Anyway, that's what Berto told me after they were his real objective. And those unlucky comrades were just regrettable, unnecessary losses. Hey Dale, how's everything? Just trying to get some stuff done. So I have time to do other stuff later on today. Plus, I was going to do these story offline, since it's just mostly just reading. But I'm like, yeah, I might as well stream it on anyway. The Talking Mountain. Oh, I missed. Oh. To save our comrades stranded in the mountains, we left the city by truck. The road was built outside the city, with our outposts and supply stations scattered along its routes. The locals came down from the mountains to trade with our people, exchanging pretty stones for clothes, wool, and kisses of paper clips and old shoes. Things that weren't worth much.
Calm down.
Speak slowly, take your time. And our truck left the city. We passed a demolished tank by the side of the road. Not long after, the driver said we were running low on fuel. Lucky for us, a gas station was not far, guarded by troops like all the others. We hopped out and watched our truck slowly make its way over. Everyone was relaxed and having a good time, chatting and laughing by the roadside, waiting for the truck to fill up and roll back around. Why we all have to get out of the truck?
Because?
Because when the truck blows up, it's safer out here than it is in there. To our foes hiding in the mountains, destroying a vehicle can be more valuable than taking lives.
Hey!
Don't scare the rookie, boss. It's a beautiful day, sunny and bright. Nothing bad's gonna happen. It does feel good to stand here and soak up the sun. You might even grow a little taller. Last month, our allies cleared out the nearby villages because they were supporting our enemies. So we had nothing to worry about, comrade. Relax and enjoy the sunshine. We have been blessed with a peaceful day, haven't we, brother Alexei? This is all thanks to our good fortune. Say hello, Comrade Hassan. Keep your eyes on the mountains. Among us, Alexei was always the most on the edge, while Hassan was the most relaxed. They didn't care whether I was a human or Arcanist. They only asked what unit I was in and where I served. But not one of them even glanced at my red 38. Hello? A broom of mass destruction over there. The ultimate ride. They weren't even the least bit curious about that. Imagine if they saw Zeno's arsenal with flying carpets that breathe fire and ropes that seek out enemies. Their jaws will hit the sand. Ha! But none of that stuff is as good as my trusty broom. Before joining Zeno's, I was begging on the streets of Juhalerat. Each day was either feast or famine, a roll of the dice. That is how life was. Haha. But then one day, they came up to me and said, hey, kid, you want to join the army? We'll feed you 3 meals a day. So I signed up. Chatting Hassan, always so talkative. Loyalty is easily brought over here. All it took was 1 pair of boots, 2 bowls of pilaf, and 3 square meals a day. After that, people of Zeno taught me to read and write, and told me all kinds of old stories.
But
You know, just a friendly advice. Be careful. It's okay to give gifts to the locals, but make sure you never take anything they give. But make sure you never take anything they give you. So it's like scams. If you're lucky, it's poison. If not, it's a bomb. Music box and dolls might just blow up in your hands. Did I scare you? No need to be afraid. Welcome to Juhalerat, Comrade Lilia. May you live 100 years. I heard all of that before. Who do you think you're trying to spook?
yes.
Yes. You're a brave one, you are. By the way, where did you serve before?
Oh.
She's like me, a student from Zeno. Air Force Reserve.
Wow.
A fledgling falcon, ready to spread her wings. Do you fly here on the broomstick? Hassan caresses my red 38, gently patting its metallic casting.
That's awesome.
This thing, you sit on it, and it really flies. That's the coolest thing ever, friend. Want me to show you? The curious crowd gathers around me like a spectator waiting for a show. The clear skies, mountain roads, and the valley between the peaks were like a perfect runway.
Nice.
Go on, see if you really have the eyes of a hawk. Scout the mountains, we're counting on you. Thanks for the look, Dale. Roger that, Commander. Everyone clears the path for me, and then my magnificent red 38, and I took to the skies. I heard cheers as I lifted off, and maybe they were gasps. There was nothing but mountains and trees out there, but it wasn't as barren as I thought. In the distance, a light was reflecting from the forest. The shepherds and village in the mountains seemed to have noticed me and looked my way from afar. I waved, but I doubt they saw that. After circling the mountains, I returned to the ground to save fuel. Can you take Hassan flying too? I always wanted to see the skies. Hassan, man, you probably pee your pants.
Hey!
What are you talking about? Hassan's braver than a lion. What's a little flight to me? The lions that have fallen by my hands are more numerous than the soup you eat for dinner.
It's ridiculous.
That's not something to brag about, Comrade Hassan. You know, after the war, you can fly back to the Zeno Army Academy with us on a special plane.
Of course.
Yes, of course I will. That's what you promised, right, boss? Berto smiles and nodded, then checked his watch again. He seems uneasy. Sit next to me on the plane. I'll have a barf bag and stall crackers ready for your somersaulting stomach. Laughter erupts from the crowd. Hassan grins too, showing his yellow teeth and crackling so hard that even Bertolt cracked a smile. Outside Juhalerat, the sun shone brightly as eagles glided through the blue sky. The truck was parked at the gas station, with a few people going about their business. It seems like an easy job. We really are lucky this time, all thanks to our little comrade, the goddess of luck. No mines or bombs, and no... He jinxed it! He spoke too soon. A massive explosion erupts ahead, followed by 2 more in quick succession. That's the... I recognize that sound anywhere. 1 rocket, 3 blasts.
Everyone!
It's time for action, comrades. The shockwave from the explosion from the truck and gas station left my ears ringing. I couldn't hear a thing. But our comrades were quick to react. Hassan and 2 others had already found cover and started shooting up the hill. Alexa helped the comrade who was being knocked down by the blast. But thankfully, they were a safe distance away. All in all, we lost a truck and a driver, nothing else. And now we were caught with our pants down and bullets started flying.
Shoot.
I just had to go and wait. I just had to go and jinx us. How did they get their hands on those things?
I don't know.
By the humps of a stubborn camo. How should I know? See the guy up there? Shoot back, boys. Open your eyes and aim, you sightless donkeys. We returned fire, but we were too far apart to hit each other. Despite the fierce exchange, none of us were injured in the slightest. It's the 18th generation portable rocket launcher, developed by the Zeno Army Academy and issued in the fall of '84. Believe me, these are some of the most intelligent rockets you've ever seen. Amidst the deafening roars of the wind and screeching, these explosives never fail to find their targets. I played with these back in the academy. Powerful stuff, but luckily they're one-off, and each one is a pain to cultivate. But seriously, how the hell did the enemy get their hands on those things?
Which means...
Are you saying that the Zeno Arkham weapons have fallen into enemy hands? Good question, I wonder. Good question. I wonder what really happened, comrade.
Nice.
We'll make a note of that. There was more. They all had Zeno uniforms as well. We recently shipped a new batch of uniforms to the front lines, and recorded by the logistics department. Some units have temporarily recruited local personnel to join the other forces. They needed Zeno uniforms. A new batch of uniforms? No, that doesn't make sense. Hassan was wearing his own clothes, and so were a bunch of other comrades. Hearing this, the interrogator turns to the clerk, who nods in understanding. So was the uniforms and stuff hijacked? They retreated, and the shooting stopped.
Everyone!
Is anyone hurt? Boss, all the radio equipment were on the truck, and now they're gone. The officer grimaced as he watched the smoke disperse. The truck and surrounding buildings continued to burn uncontrollably in the distance. The explosion was far from us, sir. The driver and the comrade at the gas station are gone, but our people here are unharmed. The soldiers regrouped, the most unfortunate among them sporting only a scratch on his arm. The good news is we survived unscathed. The bad news is now we lost our contact with the trap party. Berto forgot that he still had me. But the distress signal on the military channel?
Yes.
Yes, an encrypted one. Do you have a plan, little Falcon chick? The experimental navigation on radar 1182, a new gadget devised by Zeno Arcanus. Let's give it a try. It should pick up a signal. The creatures in the radar are highly trained. Certain frequency can activate their dormant mind, prompting them to react accordingly. Let me see that. I'm guessing he's not an important cast, but I'm not sure because that's. but from what they're doing, the story is, I think he's like one of the main characters, but I'm not sure why he doesn't have eyes. The soldiers began to murmur at the mention of Arcanus.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, but what happened? Why has the signal stopped in place? It might be unstable. It's still a prototype after all.
Huh.
Well, it's better than nothing.
Thank you.
We are fortunate to have you here, Comrade Lilia.
But
But we no longer have a vehicle. If you don't have wheels, use your legs. Are you scared, brother Alexei? Our people have been traversing these mountains for thousands of years.
I believe.
He's right. Let's go. We'll follow where the things goes. So off we went, towards the billowing smoke of a gas station. The atmosphere has changed. There were no more jokes or laughter, just pairs of watchful soldiers, their eyes fixed on the hills. There's trees on the hills there. Maybe people there too. I wasn't wrong, comrade. We really are lucky to be alive. Let me give you some advice. I know it's going to sound morbid, but you best keep your bullets for yourself, little comrade. I'd rather jam my last bullet up an enemy's nostril. But seriously, don't get caught alive, or you wish you died. Bullets are merciful things. A bang and you're gone. No pain at all. I've seen way too many soldiers in the infirmary, wailing in pain. I remember the missing limbs, such a painful sight, lying in bed, calling out names, crying for their mothers. I noticed a glimmer of terror in his eyes, but he quickly composed himself and burst into a mischievous laughter. Those fiends tortured their captives with blades coated in poison. I heard them have skilled arcanists who use cruel arts to leave their victims unable to live or die. For us here, blood is thicker than water. If someone hurts your family, you have to seek vengeance at all costs.
Oh.
You afraid yet? Ha! Even the city isn't safe. Just remember, my young friend. Never take anything from someone you don't know. Even a lighter. Press it and boom! Blow you to bits. Get lost with your scare tactics. You already told me that.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it or not, your choice. The old soldier struts and pulls a handful of roasted beans from his pockets.
Look at this.
Want some? They may be cold, but they're still good. My wife fried them with salt. They're tasty. So there we were, a group of survivors, nibbling on chickpeas as we continue on our way. Just a few beans is enough. Indulge in too many and you'll be tooting like a tuba. As we passed the remains of the gas station, we all instantly covered our faces with a thick black smoke. We did not have the time to mourn.
Shh.
Maybe there are still survivors.
No one.
Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Nothing could have survived such an explosion. You would have been some kind of monster. But Alexa did find a survivor. Though she wasn't one of ours.
Hey!
Look over there. I think I see someone.
Stop there!
Alexi. Alexi sprinted ahead, too fast to be stopped. Bertolt quickly signaled to follow. Are you alright, miss? The woman lies on the ground, eyes wide with terror. Her calf is cut by a broken stone, bleeding profusely. She looks like a frightened lamb with a flock of unfortunate real lambs lying next to her, none spared by the explosion.
Calm down.
You're hurt. Stay calm. I'll take care of it. Alexei crouches down, pulls out the first aid kit, and carefully tends to the woman's wounds. The disinfectant will sting a bit, but don't worry. I'll stop the bleeding first. Your injury is manageable. I practiced this at the academy before. I think I see blood. Alexei kneels beside her, gently cleaning the wound and using precious cotton swabs to apply medicine before carefully wrapping it in a bandage. As we caught up with Alexei and approached the scene, the woman became even more frightened at the sight of armed soldiers.
Listen.
She's from the hills. When Hassad sees the woman in the local dress, he unslings his rifle, loads it, and points it at her.
Don't do this.
What are you even doing? She doesn't have a gun and she's hurt. Alexei jumps up and stands in front of the gun, using his own body to shield the frightened woman behind him.
It's dangerous.
She comes from the hills, brother. There's a good chance she's a spy for them. Hassan, please. She's just a simple herder caught up in the terrible war. She's injured and defenseless.
Oh dear.
Are you out of your mind? Think, brother Alexei. Whatever is in your box is all that we have left. The explosion had taken their truck, driver, radio equipment, and all their first aid supplies. Listen to yourself. Are you telling me to leave her here to die? Just walk past a wounded lady on the roadside just like she isn't there? She could just be a herder passing through the trade, and now her sheep are gone, and all thanks to that darn explosion. There are herbs in the hills that can stop bleeding, and my ancestors has been using them for centuries. She's a hill person. She can take care of herself. Do you really think she can survive through the hills with that injured leg?
Shoot.
Why do you have to be such a crazy do-gooder, Alexei? They were at each other's throats, but I didn't think Alexei was wrong at the time. Berto steps in to break it up.
Enough.
That's enough. I believe this lady can find her way home. We have other matters to attend to. Time is ticking, comrades. Our fellow soldiers in the cave are still waiting for us. I'm not sure if we should leave a loose end like this, boss. What if one of her family members is an enemy of ours? Did you just say loose ends? It'll have to be over my dead body, Hassan. That's enough. Put away your guns. Hassan, Alexa, step away from her.
Friends.
She's a victim just like us, nearly killed in the attack. Let's leave it at that. I can only hope you're right. Hassan sighs and slings his rifle back over his shoulder. If we were in the time of Nader Shah, our brother Alexei would have been the great knight. But now, your kindness would just have got us killed, Alexei. And your lack of empathy is killing Zeno and its future here, Hassan. After that, we continue on our way. Alexei follows closely behind Hassan, glancing back every few steps until the woman limped out of the sight and into the mountains. Only then did they seem to relax. Our Alexei is a good man, maybe even better than some of the other good men I've known. Hassan, on the other hand, was reliable and experienced. I couldn't help but wonder what he has been through. Distrusted. His distrust of everything is precisely what makes him trustworthy. Berto, age. Shall we skip the formalities and get started, comrade? Let's not waste each other's time. The officer interrupts with soldier-like efficiency. The interrogation face is sour. He does not enjoy the dispersion of a tiny sense of authority.
So...
How's our soldier faring in his captivity? Can you give me a glimpse of the outcome, comrade? Private Alexei is calm, coherent, and cooperating with the interrogation. My role is only to interrogate. The verdict is up to the jurisdiction. But the judge is going to need you to provide the evidence.
No.
Yes, but the outcome is more up to you and your subordinate. My submission will be shaped by your narrative.
Calm down.
Rest. Wait, fine. Rest assured, you will learn what you need to know. By the way, how's the girl? Miss Lynn is in another room for questioning. Don't worry, we'll treat our trainees with care, especially since she's so young. Those who experience war and artillery fire can hardly be called young anymore. Personally, I agree with this sentiment, but the topic is for another day. As you said, let's not waste time. The interrogator takes another set of documents. The prisoners mentioned that you saved a local civilian after the explosion, which led to an argument. What happened after that? What happened between Private Alexander and the auxiliary soldier Hassan, both of whom were your subordinates?
It's nothing.
Nothing much, just an ordinary quarrel between comrades, just like everyday quarrel you might have with your wife. Honestly, you guys out here, assigned so far away from the front lines, can sometimes get a little too, you know. Hearing that, the interrogator loosened his collar, revealing the scars of his neck and chest. 2 years ago, we were pulling out of the mountain pass. My squad was responsible for covering the rear and fending off for pursuit. After the shooting subsided, only 2 of us survived in the valley, myself and the officer I later carried back to base safely. That's the end of that story. The military discipline department is still waiting for our report. We need to wrap up this case quickly, as the higher-ups expect us to work efficiently. The Admiral wants us to tighten military discipline, and all the base currently had problems with our oversight team, myself.
You should
understand that a bunch of armed thugs can't be called an army unless they are firmly bound by discipline and order. This is especially important when it comes to those pseudo-unstable arcanists. Strictly speaking, interrogation like this should be handled by the interrogation department, but for the time being, we are tasked with this duty. You've been on the front lines. You should understand Zeno's current predicament better than most. We lost too many of our comrades in the storm.
Please
Continue, Lieutenant. The officer paused for a moment, then speaks again. To retrieve the lost documents hidden in the valley, we ventured deep into the mountains, searching for our target. Such was the derivative of the headquarters. A month ago, we received an order to clear both sides of the road in the mountains, to leave not a single tree standing, but no one bothered to do it. So when we left the wilderness and followed the trail deeper in the forest, everyone was on high alert. We spoke little, and the chirping of the birds filled the silence, taking me back to those long summer days in Asai. Lila's device guided us, but in that place, knowing the direction and following an actual path were 2 different things.
Wow.
My hometown doesn't have nearly as many trees as this, my little comrade. I'm from Ryushka, you know that place, a cold, faraway little town that has partnership with Zeno. Maybe it was because of this connection that I was chosen as the new recruit for advanced training in the Zeno Arms Academy. You never told me, Comrade Alessi. I thought you knew, sir. Didn't all of our files pass through your hands? You didn't know?
I'm sorry.
I don't pay much mind to these things, but Ryoshi is a nice place. I've been there before.
Oh dear.
You actually been there?
Yes.
Indeed, the people there were united, brave, and kind, forging a homeland that is both strong and splendid.
Great.
That's wonderful. Truth be told, it's been years since I've been home. In 2 months, you'll be able to take your leave and return home. Ryoshi is thrilled driving now. I'm sure your mother has been eagerly waiting for your arrival. She's always worried about me, sending letters and money, but I don't need the money. Her letters are most important. My father thinks she's overreacting. Having a son on the front line is an honor. Your mother shouldn't worry too much. All the men in our family have served. My father was also a Xenoforce, but he retired a few years ago after returning from Prague. And my grandfather was a war hero. He earned his medals and buy his stuff. When talking about homes and family, Alexi's face lights up with bright smile. Your whole family is incredible, Alexi.
Of course.
Yes, and we never comprehend our principles. From my grandfather to my father to me, and hopefully to my future son. He blushed at the point, looking a bit timid. Zeno is truly grateful for you and your father's service, Alexi.
No.
Service? No command there. We call it alliance. Our loyalty is external. Alexi is a young man of unshaken conviction, untainted by the various vices of the barracks. He is committed to changing the local hostility towards us, because in order for Yuno to maintain a long-term presence here, fostering good relations with the locals is essential. In the grand scheme of things, his approach is correct. Family, countries, and military. He is loyal to these old-fashioned ideals, and that is precisely what we need. In these turbulent times, comrade, a brave and loyal heart shines brighter than 1,000 suns. But he is still too young, too, impervious and naive. Boss! We remained vigilant. The fearless Hassan was leading the way with comrades from the region. They seemed to know every hill and trees in the area. Recruiting local Azurit was a wise move. These animal local allies have done much for Zeno and preserve our proper recognition. There's only one path forward. We better be careful. Want me to look from the sky?
Wait.
No, comrade. You fly up there. A gun is pointed to you, and a gun is pointed to you down here. You'll be an easy target. Well, people have been hunting eagles in the mountains for thousands of years. The Red 38 is no bird. Are you giving your people too much credit, or are you doubting my abilities to fly?
Listen.
Haas is right. Don't expose yourself unnecessarily. Stay behind the group near Elsa and cover our rear. Leon grumbles, but obeys the order and returns to the back of the group. Doesn't it seem a bit quiet, boss? The wind roars in the distance, sweeping through the higher valley. Haas kicks a pebble off the cliff, watching it land in the riverbed below the mountains. In the distance, a majestic mountain peak shines in all its glory. A snowy top sparkles under the blazing Juhalerat sun. The mighty India Kush, where even eagles dare not fly. I'd prefer if it was a few more locals to chat with. So then, boss, I'll take a few men ahead. You follow. Hassan gestures and calls out in the local tongue. A few locals from the auxiliary force follows him. They were adept to mountain warfare, but they clung to their own firearms, accustomed to Zeno's archon weaponry. These comrades from Juhalerat was more resilient than other soldiers. They knew the importance of obedience. Hassan seems well respected by them.
Why?
Why do they have to go to the front? I could do that too.
Because
They know the terrain, and you don't. Just follow your orders, Alexei. Are we heading to the right direction? Little Falcon check? Take your Arcanium trinket and give it a look. About 2 kilometers to go. Is it a straight line? Right. I'll take about 2 hours on foot. There's nothing but mountains here, and there's no mountains and then trees. If not trees, then rocks. And if it's not rocks, then people. Our people, their people. Comrade Lilia points the way of Hassan created a path ahead. We make our way over the hill and continue our dirt road ahead between the mountains. After the narrow pass flanks the rock wall, the mountain trails become more widening, but ahead we were greeted by thousands of watchtowers. It was then gunfire erupts from both the sides of rear of the formation.
watch out!
Darn, all hands, battle positions. So we're going to choose her.
Look at my back.
You see that, boss? They're wearing our uniform. How's that possible? Quit yapping and get rid of them. All men's battle formations.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Fine. Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Don't blink. A little trick. Right wind.
What? Are you giving up already? Help the injured and get them out of the way.
ВДВ. Сколько побед? Haven't you...
There's way too many enemies. Don't get caught up there with them. Alessa, Leah, you two fall back and clear a path. There's a village up ahead. Hassan, stay with me and cover our rear. On it, boss.
Fine. Oh. Haven't you eaten? Red 38 is about to return.
Hassan. Before Hassan can react, a shot spatters the eye that was aimed directly at him. Wait. Before Hassan can react, a shot spattered the eye. Oh, okay. Excellent quick reflex and exceptional marksmanship saves his comrade just in time.
Watch out!
Watch your back, Comrade Hassan.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Alexa. Thank you. Wonderful comrade has been hit. Yelling in a local language. It's hurt. It hurts so much. Brother. Hassan tries to save a comrade caught between the two enemies, but his hand is too slow. Wait, the curved blade cuts through a familiar face before Hassan's eyes, revealing a jumble of red and white. Then it slashed downward, narrowing Mrs. fingers.
Run!
Don't let their blades touch you! Bring it on! Ha! Let's see what you got. In a chaotic skirmish like this, Leah has a clear advantage. She can fly. The enemy won't have a chance to lift their heads to see her. Her comrades will make sure of that. You're next. Seriously, how do more of these guys keep popping up?
Hurry up!
Leah, push forward and clear the way. We're retreating to the village ahead. Alexei, go cover her on the ground. There are a few taking aim at her.
Copy that!
Roger that. At the commander's signal, Alexia and Leah leads the way, with the rest following closely behind. Hassan and Berto are in the rear, ready to provide cover. Camera Leah heroism saved us from the ambush, but the battle was equally grueling because of the narrow terrain. We even drew daggers and sabers like the fierce warriors of old who fought along the Shah, engaging the enemy in close combat. Forced by the situation, we had to retreat forward, fighting as we went, and sadly leaving some of our comrades behind. Wait, commander, brother, friend, please! Don't leave us behind! Awesome! Boss, should we? Hassan looked at me. I knew he didn't want to leave those men behind. I also knew he didn't want them to fall into enemies' hands alive. Sporadic gunfire fills the air, while a painful silence hangs between Hassan and Berto.
No way.
There's simply too many of them. We were unable to reach our comrades who were far behind, and even if we could, they wouldn't have made it home alive. Sometimes war forces you to do things you have no say over, because you simply have no other option. Do it, Hassan.
I see.
Understood. Sometimes that last bullet we save for ourselves may well come from a comrade's gun. The wounded captives, especially those under Hassan, would have been seen as traitors and face a cruel fate. The enemies caught up to us from behind, their guns aimed at us for a final attack. Hassan and I shot back. The numbers were overwhelming, but we kept firing until they trudged over the bodies of their own dead comrades. The natives of Juhalerat, especially marksmen, they don't ask which animal to shoot, just which eye you want them to hit. Unfortunately, Carmen and Lilia returned just in time to detonate a bomb, stopping the enemy's pursuit with shattered rocks. The rebel buried both our fallen soldiers and theirs. Leah takes off her goggles and lands on the ground as the broom flames goes out. I hope I'm not too late. The timing couldn't have been better. The boss and I would have been finished. Thank you, comrade.
How is it going?
They won't catch up for a good while. What's the situation ahead? There's a village deserted. Everyone fled. Understandable, understandable. Who wouldn't turn on at the sound of gunfire? There's a couple of houses that nobody lives in for a while. Something happened here not long ago. Not surprising for a place like this. And Lexi and others? We cleared a room and are treating the wounded.
Nice.
Good, let's head there. There was a watchtower in the village, but it was unclear who built it for defense. Bullet holes riddled the walls, evidence of a past battle. Painful screams came from the houses, sounds I knew well, from the halls of the military hospital and makeshift operating tables. Comrade Lilia seems to bit unsettled, but she got used to these experience in time. Don't move, comrade. It'll be over soon. I know it hurts a little, but you're a man, aren't you? So bear with it. How's it looking, Alexei?
I'm sorry.
Not great. We lost 5 men. 3 soldiers are seriously injured, and the rest have a range of other wounds. We are running out of bandage and medicine. We can tear up clothes to use as bandage, but the blood will seep through, and we're almost out of hemostatic agent. Alexei's guilt burns the eyes look away. He's now paying for his earlier kindness. The first aid kit is almost empty. The table is littered with stained bandages and defective tools.
Now?
We need to call for reinforcements. Until they arrive, waiting here is the best recourse. And what about the comrades we were supposed to rescue on this mission? Do we have time to look for them, sir? The officer is in trouble, wrestling with the dilemma at hand.
That's right.
Cameron is right. We can't just leave the wounded here as they continue to lose blood. Alexei will stay here to attend the wounds. Hassan will take a few who can still move to guard the watchtower. And Camelia, let's talk, just the 2 of us. To be continued. Alright. 5. We have everything. Your mistakes will be your demise, my friends. We were forced to retreat to the village. The brave soldiers who bought us precious time. We must not forget their names.
I see.
Understood, Lieutenant. Submit a report later listing the fallen soldiers of Zeno to review. Their families will be well taken care of. Berto signs with relief, a faint smile playing on his lips. What happened next? What did you discuss with Lilia? I tried to call for reinforcements. The base responded quickly, but transporting personnel and equipment takes time. Time, I see. Continue. I briefed Lilia on the priorities of the mission. So what's our next move? Are we hitting the skies or the slopes?
You should
know what our mission is. To rescue the team members and retrieve some mysterious arcane documents when we get the chance.
That's right.
Correct, but I need you to adjust the priorities of these 2 tasks. Huh? What's that now?
Which means...
I mean, you need to swap the order of these 2 tasks. Prioritize the arcane documents first, then rescue any stranded personnel if you happen to get a chance. You what? She was surprised. They may already be dead. How long has it been since your device has received its new signal? None. Radio silence since the first message. I don't think the equipment is faulty, but it's been several hours since the last distress call. Either they're pinned down somewhere and can't move, or they met their tragic end. Do others know about the priority switch? No, they don't need to know. Right as I said it, she punched me in the nose. He had to do a little pop. The officer staggers back, blood trickling from his nose. She's stronger than she looks. Liar.
Shoot.
You really packed a punch with that one, little falcon. You don't trust him, and you don't trust me.
No.
No. I trust you and Alexei. And the others? I trust their loyalty and their fighting abilities. But they don't need to know any of this. Neither does Alexei. He'll tell everyone. As will I. She clenches her fist, still waiting to land another blow on her superior's face. No sacrifice will be made in vain, Comrade Lilia. You youngsters sure mature quickly when you tangled with death.
Which means...
In other words, your squad had two objectives at a time. To recover the arcane documents and rescue the Revenant team members.
That's right.
Correct. This mission came directly from the administration office. Hearing this, the interrogator turns and signals the clerk to leave the room. Now, there's just one other person in the room.
Now?
Let's talk about these documents, Lieutenant. What could possibly justify the sacrifice of so many soldiers to retrieve them? He picked up the pen and waits.
Please.
Please maintain your candors, Lieutenant. Speak. Bertolt takes a deep breath and resumes his account. My mission was to find and retrieve the descendant of the ancient Arcanist family who were lost in the Central Asian region before the storm arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Was the source of this intel reliable?
I don't know.
I don't know, but my orders were clear. Maybe it was some kind of deal between the higher-ups and them. Zeno soldiers were deployed there as mercenaries, receiving compensation for their services. Equipments, funds, personnel leading to local base and information about the Arcanists. In the wake of the storm, we were under immense pressure to rebuild the Arm Academy. To ensure resources, we had to do questionable things that ultimately tarnished our name.
That's...
Necessary evil. I understand. Go on. In 1964, the French conducted an excavation at the ruins of Al-Karium in the north. It was an ancient Hellenistic city, lost under the sands in ancient Asia for nearly 2,000 years. Some of the artifacts were sent to Paris and some of to the local museums. Then war broke out. After the city was occupied, a batch of documents were secretly smuggled out and hidden in the mountains. Since the spring of the year, our people has been discreetly searching for those documents, and finally, we have a lead on them.
Please.
Go on. What does this batch of documents contain? Treasures of the Archean Sea. A family tree, map, diaries, archives, belonging to the family of Western Arcanists who settled in Central Asia. It is an incredible adventure, spanning thousands of miles over the course of 2 millenniums. Their forebear ruled with the Macedonian god king as he conquered the known world. After the Kaivalan's death, they shifted alliance among several successors. Then the one-eyed general triumphs in Gamian. These figured and war-loving veterans became part of the force. A volatile, unpredictable army. No wise man could ever grasp that blade without a hilt. After that, the Arcanists within the armies were sent east with their old comrade, gradually fading into the mountains and the annual of history. But they did not disappear. The bellicose defendant of Arcanus later merged with the rising Soviet tribe and continued to thrive along the desert trade route for centuries. Chasing their aesthetic shadows, they stumbled upon the ancient city of Al-Kharam and set up a small Arcanist tribute nearby. But as fate would have it, the nearly centuries pageant from war shattered them once more. My mission was to track down and bring back the descendant of this tribe, with these documents serving as vital clues. Zeno needs the Arcanus. The officer takes several gulps of hot water, seemingly anxious about revealing the truth. Have you told Lillian about this?
Yes.
Yes, she is in the loop, as I told you earlier.
Nice.
Okay, I see. The interrogator presses a button under the table, and the clerk steps back into the room, resuming her place.
Please.
Continue, Lieutenant. What happened next? Are we really risking so many lives for just a few busy cottontails? 800,000 lives were once sacrificed for just a 10 kilometers of land. Though it was not quite the right comparison. What a foolish swallow. Sacrifice is necessary and the result is worth it, little falcon. Are you willing to sacrifice yourself?
Yes.
I am. The officer pulls out his guns without hesitation, prepares for what he knows is coming. What do you want me to do now? Just understand the priorities of our mission, and never forget them. Leah clenches her fist and spits on the floor. Yes, sir. I understand your frustration, but the mission is a mission, and orders are still orders.
But...
Besides, we need to think about what to do next. We have a lot of wounded to take care of. Just then, Alexa burst through the door, eyeing the two from the distance. Sir, you're bleeding. What's with the gun? I fell. It was nothing. Yeah, fell into my fist. What? Don't worry about it. What's the matter, Alexei? He tucked his gun into his coat and wiped the blood from his lips.
Let me think.
Earlier, Hassan mentioned herbs in the mountains that can stop bleeding. Maybe I can find some.
It's dangerous.
It's too dangerous to go alone. Besides, you don't know the lay of the lands. I can come. What are you all talking about? Let old Hassan in on it, eh? Hassan should know the way. Way? What way? I'm not catching your drift. Alexa and I are thinking of catching some herbs. We're running low on medicine.
Oh,
That could work. You know these mountains well?
of course.
Like the back of my hand. I was scampering about these slopes before I could even talk. That settles it. Let the three of us give it a try, sir. The officer hesitates. Having more helping hands would have certainly made things easier, but the war and the storm has cost us dearly. I had plans to wait for reinforcements before moving out, but time was ticking and dusk was closing in. Spending the night was out of the question, so I gave these brave soldiers the permission to go. Alright, you have 2 hours. Go back before the sun sets behind the mountains, or you're on your own. How are the wounded, Alexei? We've done all we can. I gave the last of the medicine to others, and now I have an empty box that can hold a lot. What are we waiting for? Time's a wasting, fellas. Just the three of us, ready to take on the world. Stay tuned for our epic success. Ha ha ha. Bring your trader, Leah, and if you happen to come across our lost comrade along the way, retrieve them. You got it. They set off, and I was left here to wait for reinforcements, for their return, and perhaps for the enemy's vengeance. He calmly lowers his head and paused for a moment. Before long, I went looking for them, and as soon as I heard gunships on the road, I followed the sign with our men, but it was too late. You and us, and yet, trust was never given to us, not once. So Lieutenant Bertel briefed you on the real objective, and you, Alexei, and the Hassan teamed up to carry out an independent operation. Is that correct? Yes.
Nice.
Very well. You cooperated your accounts with Alexei and Bertel. And you're hitting the lieutenant. That really happened? Yeah, I socked him good. I was gonna go for round 2, but then Alexa waltzed in, and it wouldn't have been like... Wait. And it wouldn't have been good form to deck your CEO in the front of the lad. The interrogator struggles to stuff his chuckle. You certainly got a spirit, Comrade Lilin. Go on, then. What happened next? What did the three run into? After gearing up, Hassan led the way. Alexa and I followed. The three of us headed deeper into the mountains.
Watch out!
Watch your step, friend. Don't let the thorns prick you. I can't believe you grew up in a place like this, Comrade Hassan. That's why I eventually left for the city to seek a different life. I was the first from our village to go to the city. I've always been something of a pioneer, you know. He readies with pride, a mountain-born maverick, unyielding and audacious. We trekked through the mountain and wilderness, moving from tree to tree and slope to slope. We struggled to keep up with Hassan, whose nimble and sure movement represent that of a mountain goat.
Hey!
Hey, keep up. Am I going too fast, comrade? Should we take a breather?
No!
A breather? Not a chance. Our comrades are waiting. Keep moving. I'm fine. Whenever there's fighting, the local hides until it's calmed down, and then they come out. The more daring might strip the dead. A simple canteen can be a valuable find for a struggling family. This place is unbelievably poor. Poor people have their ways. After all, this is the life we were all born into. It was like this before you came, and it will be like this after you leave. The words leave as a distortion, as if his passion has been poured into the lifeless stone, here, only to be met with indifference. Wait, stop. Hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? They stop. Lynn takes out the radar and checks the precision. They're getting closer to the signal.
Shh.
Listen carefully, comrade. It's a faint woman's voice. Do you have the ears of Foxboy? Because I don't hear anything.
Look!
That way, move it. Someone might be able to help us with the herbs.
Hey!
Hey, slow down! I ran after them. Alexa sprinted into the distance, reaching the edge of the forest.
Great!
It's you. I never expected to see you again. Are you okay? Huh, it seems like you walk now. Hassan, does she understand what I'm saying? Hassan chambers his gun, constantly approaches the woman.
Please.
Not this again, Hassan. We saved her before, and she's unarmed. Just like that last time. Hassan seems to have a deep distrust of the mountain people. I guess they marked him as a traitor, you know, working for Zeno and all. The armed man approaches, speaking the local dialect. He questions the woman, who utters a few words for him to translate. She needs money because her ships were blown up. If you can pay her, she can help you find what you're looking for. How does she know we're looking for someone? Hassan relays Leo's message to the woman. She speaks and gestures, tears falling, as if both crying and not crying. She saw people dressed like you enter the cave yesterday, several of them. They were injured, and her sister is caring for them. She was just too terrified to tell anyone, because the enemy would never spare her or her sister if they found out. After the mission, she should come back to the base with us. It wouldn't be hard for her to find work in the city. Stop it with your excessive kindness, brother Alexei. I'm begging you. If what she said is true, then Zeno is in her debt.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, little comrade? Hassan searched the decision for me. My soft hardened for a second. I guess, and I agreed with Alexei. I should still have some money on me. Rummaging his pocket, he pulls out a couple of local banknotes and hands it to the woman. She hesitates, not wanting to accept. Is she ashamed to take our money? No. What you're giving her is worthless paper over there. You will have to give her some real money. Aw man, guess I'll handle this. Hassan reluctantly retrieves a crumpled bill from the sole of his shoe and hands it to the woman, uttering a few words.
Now
She'll guide us. Averting her eyes from Alexei, the woman leans ahead. He wanted to talk to her. They can't get past the language barrier. You see, Hassan? Being kind to the locals does pay off. With the support of the locals, Tino's work will be much more sooner in the future. She's leading us the right way, in the right direction at least. We're getting closer to the signal. Will we find any herbs in the cave, Comrade Hassan?
yes.
But not many. These plants prefer sunlight, so they shouldn't be most near the entrance in the general facility.
Great.
Good. It seems we can accomplish 2 objectives with 1 action. The young man is pleased that his earlier deeds have borne fruit. Good deeds are rewarded, and evil deeds are punished. He firmly believed this. That cave is the one. The 4 of them walk to the slopes outside the cave, where several shell casings lie scattered about. The woman speaks with Sal briefly before limping into the cave by herself. She's asking us to wait until she confirms there's no one inside. Does she live around here? We didn't see any villagers on the way here.
I'm not sure that.
Who knows? She could be a refugee from anywhere. War is everything these days. Not even the mountain is spared from its chaos. And women have particularly suffered from these days at turbulent times. My wife was a refugee who fled to the north. We met after her escape and we got married. She is a good woman. Hassan spoke of his wife with the same pride as Alex spoke of his family. We waited for a few more minutes at the cave entrance. What if this is a trap? What if she took my money and ran? It's my hard-earned cash. When we get back, you two better vouch for me. I fronted cash for this mission. Sheena's reimbursed me. Just then, the woman came back out. She scoped around carefully before signaling us to hurry over. Hassan led the way, Alexa in the middle, and I covered the rear. We entered the cave, flashlight in hand. Hassan was very cautious. He handed the flashlight to Alexei, took out his gun, and followed the woman closely. Better stay sharp. There was a fight here. The ground was littered with bodies and splattered. Some of the dead stripped of their clothes and cloth and boots. These are our guys. The enemies wouldn't have caught dead with these metal tags on their belts. Wait, were the ones who shot at us wearing clothes they took from here?
Yes.
Most likely. Why can't I hear anyone around?
That's weird.
That's odd. Our people wouldn't just leave their comrades behind. Hassan wanted sound, and sound he got. As we hit a fork in the cave, a woman let out a sudden yell and ran into the shadows. I later learned the meaning of the words she kept yelling. Revenge. This can't be happening. As I pulled the trigger, the woman fell and we were under fire.
Look at my back.
Damn it, I knew we shouldn't have trusted them. Why? Why did she? Stop taking a focus. Come on, man. Take the shot. Ah, damn it. That's on your leg.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Fine. Wanna watch the aerial stunts? A little trick. Don't blink. A little trick. Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Whatever. Сколько right побед?
That should be all of them. Shoot the bodies in the head and make sure they're dead. He's right. Do it, Alexei.
Red 38 is about to return.
The bullet can end a life in an instant, with a pull of a trigger faster than thought. It was less than ideal victory. Ah! Haha, getting shot in the leg. Effing hurts. Hassan grips his leg, bloodied by the bullet. Luckily, the bullet only grazed your leg and missed any major arteries. As he expects the wound, relieved to find it less severe than he thought. Can you walk, Comrade Hassan? I can give him a hand. It hurts, but it's no big deal. I don't need a crutch. They didn't take the dog tags. We had to collect our brother's tags. We can't forget them. Hassan's face was stricken with sorrow as he yanks the tags from his own comrades. As he yanks the tags with his comrades' names from their bodies. He stumbles while bending over, falling onto a corpse. Let me help you, Comrade Hassan. No, this is my responsibility. I was the one who brought them out of the village and to this camp. I was the one who shared Zeno's meals with them. Had it not been for the hired mountain folks, Zeno would have struggled to get anything done in this place. When the boss comes with reinforcements, we had to bring them all back. We can't leave them dead here in the cave. That was when I had a feeling that neither Alexander or myself would be the one to carry... That either Alexander or myself would be the one to carry back Hassan's tag. Or maybe it would have been Hassan to carry back ours. I remember that scene at the General Airport before takeoff. We saw black metal coffins being unloaded from a transport plane, each with a tulip on top.
Wait.
How many were shooting at us just now? 3. Did you finish off their bodies with a headshot?
Of course.
I did. Wait, only 2 bodies were there.
Shoot.
And 1 got away. Don't let your guard down. Even if he does get away, he'll croak before he gets far.
It's dangerous.
Just stay alert, little comrades.
Now?
What now? Go back or go deeper? We're close to the district signal. Our comrades are somewhere in this cave. Is it a retrieval of allies or a retrieval of bodies? Hassan slowly takes his money back from the woman's corpse. The blood-soaked bills return to their place, nestled between Hassan's torn sock and soles of his shoes. Don't forget to remind Zeno to reimburse me when we get back, comrade. Even though he... After Hassan got his money back from the woman, he didn't leave right away. He picked up something else from the ground. He stared at it for a while, then tucked it into his pocket. His expression was haunting, a blend of regret and other emotions I didn't quite understand. Alexei stooped down to help him stand, and accepted his kindness without protest for once.
Are
you alright, Comrade Hassan?
Of course.
I'm fine, let's go. A limp on your gut doesn't determine your fate. Where's Hassan learned these sayings anyway? It sounds exactly like something Alexa would say. We explored deeper into the dark maze of the cave, our flashlight guiding the way. The battle has left us exhausted and silent, moving real slow. Hassan was collecting the tags of every comrade we found. We find corpses with pus-filled wounds, flies feeding on the sickly yellow discharge. That's wicked, poison. Hassan closes the eyes of each body, whether they were friend or foe. To be continued. My 7. I guess this antidote is pretty longer. Usually some of the antidotes are like an hour. This one like is taking 2 hours. What's Black Tulip? Black Tulip. From the dust he came, to the dust he will return. Alright, take care, Innie. Thanks for the follow again. Alright, thank you. I got a really bad feeling about all this.
Calm down.
Your wound is just a scratch, nothing serious. We'll fix you up in no time once we get back to base. Some of our fallen comrades are still in the Zeno uniforms, lying deep in the cave. Next to them was a knife and another body, with arrows drawn in blood on the walls.
Look at this.
Look at the wall. Something scribbled on it. Something scribbled on it. Axley's flashlight swings to the bloodstain on the rocky walls.
That's...
They're directions telling us how to navigate the cave. What if this is another trap? I can't hear anyone. Do you know the way through this cave, Hassan? I used to, but now they turned it into a maze. All these folks are new dug nooks. I'm lost. Guess we'll trust these arrows as a final gesture to support from our comrades. Let's go. They continue deeper into the cave. Alexei supports Hassan with one hand while holding the flashlight in the other. A soft breeze caressed their faces. Are we getting any closer? Yeah. Then these marks must have been left by our own comrades. Horrifying. All this blood. Several gruesome battles were fought here. Our people, the enemy's people, all lay sprawled on the ground. I heard a story once about a tough guy who went into the maze of Silent Island. He killed the Minotaur down there, and then followed a ball of thread given to him by a princess to find out the way out. And our guiding thread, the dried smears on the wall. Let's follow them. These markings could be signs left by comrades who couldn't break out. Keep your ears peeled, brother, Alessi. One of them slipped away. Don't let them get the drop on us. You can count on me. We saw lots of little stone statues in the cave. Placed on chiseled pedestals, all weathered, some splattered with blood. Kinda gives me the creeps. 1, 2, 3. Tasa counted the tags on hand, saying each name out loud. Including our losses, 16 souls in all.
Shoot.
Damn it all. They will not be forgotten. Forgotten? What difference does it make if we remember them? Will that be enough to bring them back to life? Once the commander gets here, we'll transport the bodies back. They will all be granted dignified funerals. Funerals? Huh. They're just show for the living to see. I don't know why, but Hassan was really worked up. Meanwhile, Alexei clammed up, and so we followed the arrows on the wall, deeper into the darkness. There's light up ahead. We came to the forking road. There's a dark on both sides, but there's a draft blowing through. The mark ends here. There was a huge statue standing there, holding a fire. Flames flicker off the eyelid's statue, casting shadows down the long dark passage. Left or right? We could check on one side, then double back to the other. I'll choose left. There's a draft coming from the left. Can you feel it? Leah heads floated gently to the right. That should lead to the exit for all we know. Shoot, how many possible paths are there in this place? Can your device help us navigate through here? I'm afraid not. We're close, but it's not accurate enough to give us a precise location.
Okay.
Then let's go the way you suggested. Following the path led to a room-like space, with wind blowing through the holes above. There were barrels, beds, and everyday items scattered about, as if someone lived there. It looked like our fallen comrades had fought there not long ago. The blood was still wet on their equipment. Seems like none of the stuff we're looking for is here.
Hmm?
And what are we looking for? These comrades here are already... No, that's not them. Something else. Like what? A pile of Arcanum texts. The curious comrade must have found what Zeno needed. That's why trouble found them. Wait, that's why trouble found them in this cave. Bertold brought them here to find them, but where are they?
Wait.
Hold on, weren't we here to save our trapped comrades? If they're still alive, we save them if we happen to get the chance. Unfortunately, they were too late.
What?
If we happen to get the chance? That's not what the commander said. Our priority is to save lives. Berto told me these orders came from the high above.
That's too far.
He didn't tell us anything. I don't know. I guess he had his reasons. A silent falls between the three of them. The dead cannot be saved. We got here too late. Fine, let's find the stuff. Got any ideas what they look like? No, but it could be books or a sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And where are they hidden? In the cave, I guess, where our friends found them and paid the price. Or else Belter wouldn't have deployed one team at the expense of another. The deal wouldn't be worth it. Are our lives merely calculations of worth?
It's ridiculous.
I'm going to ask about this face to face. While Alexei and I talk, Hassan quickly tended to the dead. More and more tags filled his pockets. Let's look around here. Alexei, keep an eye on the cave entrance. There are still enemies nearby. He was really upset. Fine, hurry it up. We have to report this to Berto fast. Curses those arcanists to hell. He muttered something unsanitary, but we ignored it and continued to search for what we needed. For me, that meant turning over rocks and cabinets to find the documents Bertov wanted. For Hassan, it meant checking the bodies, feeling their pockets, and waits for metal tags.
Hmm?
What could possibly be worth risking so many lives for? Something valuable to Zeno, that's what I was told.
Shoot.
Are we being thrown into the mission as pointless, expendable sacrifices, just like our fallen comrades here? I don't think anyone is seen as pointless sacrifices. That would be illogical. This is not something about being logical. He shouldn't have lied to us. He didn't lie.
Enough.
But he didn't tell us everything either. Is withholding the truth the same as lying? The answer hinges on the objective. Soldiers only need to know their duties, not the reason behind it. I disagree.
It's nothing.
That's fine. You have the right to disagree and keep it to yourself. Plenty of others feel the same way as you do.
But
But at the end of the day, people still have to follow orders. And these people are all Zeno, finest soldiers, and one day, you too will be among them. Is Bertolf one of them?
I believe
Lieutenant Bertolf is one of the most important pillars of the Zeno Armed Academies today. I have complete faith in him. I see. More than that. It is the soldiers like Hassan and Alexei who risk everything at the front that keeps Zeno going. The interrogator does not answer, but gives Lydia a look of approval. In the heat of my argument with Alexei, I forgot all about Hassan. Who could have foreseen what happened next? There was no one else in the cave, and Alexei's flashlight was pointed at the way in. I was looking at Alexei and the darkness that was behind him. But then, it happened behind me. Are these it, little comrades? They're under this comrades here. The body's still warm. Hassan called to us, and then I turned around. What I saw was something I'll never forget. Oh, the corpse was still alive. The corpse was alive. Dressed in our comrade's clothes, he stuck a poison blade into Hassan's waist and dragged it all the way up to his throat. It was a terrifying wound.
Whoa.
Hassan! Alexa was quick. He pulled out his pistol and fired 2 shots. One through the forehead and one through the eye. The corpse was now truly dead. Hassan lays flat on his stomach, grasping for air. Alexa leaps to him and helps him roll over. Hassan! He was in unbearable agony as the wound split open with alarming speed. Blood spilled out at first, then other things. It was a nasty stench. The stench of death approaching. The black and red life force of the gasping man runs down his body, soaking Alexa's form. No, no, no! Haha, what did I tell you about wishing you died? Wait. Haha, what did I tell you about wishing you would have died?
Shoot.
Darn it, I knew it, I was right. I'm fading fast, brothers. Let me treat you, Hassan. You have to hold on. I'll fix this mess. Hold on. The young man reaches behind him, fumbles and drops the box to the ground with the hollow thud. He opens the white box full of hope, only to find it's empty. Alexa was so desperate to save Hassan, he forgot that left all the medicine behind. We've done all we can. I gave the last of the medicine to the others, and now I have an empty box that can hold a lot. He opened up the open box, looking like it was the end of the world. I can't take it anymore. I could not imagine his pain. His cries were more terrifying than anything I have heard in the military hospitals or camp fields. In fact, they were more like primal animistic howls, like a bull trapped in a blazing forge, bellowing and begging for a release. Hassan said that we should save a bullet for ourselves. But there was no way he could lift a gun now. The wound continues to expand. Alexa, please, don't let me suffer through this.
No.
No. We can take you back to the base, or at least to the cave entrance, and find the mountain herb. Yes, they should still be at the camp, and the commander said reinforcements are underway. Even I could see that he was deluding himself. The man was melting. Just how was he going to get home? I beg you, brother, make it quick. He pointed shakily at Alexis gun. Alexi, if you can't do it, I will. Ah, the tough cookie. Good, little comrade. I reached for Alexis' sidearm, but he brushed my hand aside. Allow me, comrade. Alexi Chu closes Hassan's eyes, putting the gun to his temple. He left no words, no goodbyes. With a single shot, death claimed its prey, who can no longer hunt the living with his tortured wells. Hassan's hands went limp and fell on the stack of papers beside him. He found the stuff Zeno needed. As a soldier of Zeno, Comrade Hassan has fulfilled his mission flawlessly. I think we're on the last one. Oh, welcome back, Abby. Debriefing. Things have settled down, but we still have business to take care of. The sound of gunshots eventually draws a set of footsteps. Lilia! Asaka! Hassan, is that you? Bertol's voice echoes through the cave. Bertol! He follows my voice and quickly finds the room. Much easier than we did. The sight of Hassan lying next to Alexa shocked him. Hassan's courage sacrifice will forever be remembered. He fought bravely against the enemies and died a hero. Alexei could not accept Bertol's portrayal of what has happened. He was too principled for that. No, Commander. It was I who killed our comrade. Lilia pulls out the bloodstained sack from under Hassan's body and throws it at Bertol. The Dick Falls hit the ground, kicking up a swirl of dust around his army boots. Congratulations, Commander. Mission complete. You went in earlier than I did, but you came out later. You wouldn't let me go. Well, it seems you had a pleasant chat. Personally, I hate being questioned. I am an honest person. Just like Alexei.
Thank you.
It's over now. Don't forget about your debriefing report. Well done, my little falcon. You have survived Juhalerat. Your service on the battlefield is over for now, so you are free to return whenever you please. Leah does not reply. She looks back at the interrogation room, where the doors are now shut. How are you feeling about all this? Not how I thought I would feel.
Of course.
Of course, of course. For those who have never experienced war. War is often romantic as a beautiful, idyllic symphony. Until you're staring down the barrels of a gun, being mocked for your naivety, and you became just another tally, a statistic on the government ledger. Hassan.
Calm down.
Zeno will Zeno will take care of his wife. You can be sure of that. Was this all worth it, Commander Bertol? He was a joyful man. I cannot die that we became good friends during our time together. The truth is, Hassan will serve as excellent promotion material. He'll become a true model. So, utilitarianism, interest-oriented, and calculating. Work for Zeno. Earn your merits, and your family will be treated well. And for them, family and blood are above all else. Two critters with one stone. Let's go see Alexei. He walks to the interrogation room and peers at the silent young man through the window. He noticed the people outside, looked up, and halted signing. He sees us. Alexa is smiling. I told you, this really isn't a big of a deal. It's just that he insisted on making this report himself. Have you ever met someone who openly confessed, I'm the one who shot our fellow comrade? I had no intention of sending him to the tribulation, but he was well hell-bent on the notion. Such a stubborn young man. Having principle isn't easy.
I think that...
He didn't belong there. Juhalerat was not the right place for someone like him. Or perhaps, I should say, he was not the right kind of person for a place like Juhalerat. Semantics. Don't worry about Alexei. A young man like him will no doubt earn the Admiral's favor. And this case will end up on the Admiral's desk, I promise.
Oh.
As for you, your flight leaves tomorrow morning. The luggage in your room is already packed. How nice of you to do that.
Because?
Because you're going to take this story back to the academy. You will walk off the plane with coffins topped with black tulips. And you will tell your bratty little classmates that perhaps one day we might all end up in black metal boxes.
Goodbye.
The front line still needs me, so this is it. I hope we will have the chance to meet again, comrade. Best of luck to you, Commander. I almost forgot. I got something for you. Alexei left it with me before you got here. Was it a punch? Or nope. This. It was Hassan. Oh, his tag? Zeno A 150756. The officer cradles the name tag in his palm.
I'm not sure that.
I don't remember making this for him, Zeno. The tag of Aerial Force should not have been these letters engraved on them. Alexa told me he and Hassan got it secretly engraved last month. Hassan was always hoped to become a real part of Zeno. He loved being part of the big family. Berto lowers his head in thought. He will have a real one made. I will fight to have his name inscribed in the Hall of Merit at our headquarters. That dark and glorious corridor lined with the names of those who died in battles and during the storm.
I believe.
He will rest in the Zeno cemetery as a true soldier of Zeno, with a dog tag bearing his name. The officer turns and walks away, holding the keepsake tightly in his hands. The sound of a soldier's boots echoes down the hall. Lydia takes one last glance at the room where her comrade had seemed so relieved. Inside, Alexei eagerly waits his fate, while Zeno eagerly awaits him. That is the end of that Anecdote story.